Okay. So, do you want to do a little introduction since this is our first video?
Probably
and
should.
You can introduce yourself, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about our project.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So my name is Lesley Otteson. I am, what year is it? 54 years old. So I've had a lot of health issues from a very young age, mostly involving my neck, cranial region. Allopathic medicine, my body doesn't react very well to, but it does respond very well to natural remedies, natural supplements, holistic. So that's what I've mainly been focusing on, but I haven't really found anything up to now that really has helped with the suspected Chiara malformation, because I have occipital neuralgia, I have TMJ, I've had surgery on the TMJ to deal with that, which helped because they would feed into each other, but it hasn't alleviated it completely. It just has lowered the intensity from a 10 to a 6, right? So I still have to take lots and lots of painkillers, way more, because again, they don't work very well, so I have to take high doses a lot. So I was really looking for something to make it so I didn't have to rely on so much pain medication, because it's hard on the kidneys, it's hard on the liver. I wanted something that was actually going to work, that I could get off the pain medication.
And what kind of medications are you typically taking?
Just Advil, but very high doses, anywhere from 400 milligram pills to 600 milligram pills, multiple times a day when I'm having an episode.
And how often are these episodes?
I typically get at least, there's always tension, at least once a week, and sometimes they will last a couple days. So I'm taking multiple pills over a couple days, which is not ideal, right?
And are there any other therapies or kind of body work that you do to support yourself?
I do go to a chiropractor, and I can't remember what it's called, but he doesn't do physical manipulation. It's pressure points, and it's aligning the tendon that goes from the top of your head to your body. And he says it's like a guitar, tuning a guitar. You have to, if it's out of line, it takes everything else out with it. So he tunes that once a week. It's very simple. It's a very light touch for me because my body's sensitive, so it'll come right back in. But because it's so sensitive, it's also very easy for it to get right out. So I still have to go once a week, even though it's been a couple of years. Yeah. And most people at this point are going like once a month, every 3 months. My body is still so easy to get back out that I still have to go weekly. Okay. So.
And do you have, what other healthcare practitioners do you see to support you on your...
That's it. Because I don't have a family doctor, and I've kind of given up on the whole allopathic because I'm so frustrated with them. Because...
Tell me about that experience with our healthcare system, or
well,
why it's not working for you.
My last episode, which was before COVID, with a family doctor, I wanted to get a referral to see if I have Chiari malformation, because I have literally all the symptoms. So I just wanted to get it documented, because it's useful to know, like if you're getting a chiropractic treatment, you can't have stuff done on your neck if you have Chiari malformation. So I wanted to know so I could, advocate to myself or go to the doctor and say, look, I have this, you can't manipulate my neck, you can't do this, you can't do that, right? Describing my symptoms to her, so to justify it, so that she can give me a referral. And when I got to the area of my throat, which is typical for people with Chiari malformation, how the muscles, you have difficulty swallowing. All she heard was difficulty swallowing, didn't listen to the rest of me, sent me for a scope to see if I have a blockage. I mean, even the gastrointestinal specialist I saw, he said, you don't have a blockage. And even before he did it, he said, it's not a blockage. I said, I know, but she wants me to have a scope, right? It's just, why do I have to jump through all these hoops first, when if you just cut to the chase, give me the MRI at the back of the head, I'll know right now if it is or it isn't. Why do I have to have a scope? Why do I have to have this? It's just,
it's the system.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it made, and then COVID hit. And then because I was so frustrated with the whole process, I never bothered to follow up on it. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, well, I know what I have. I just want the documentation, and I'm just really don't have the energy to go through how many more before they just give me an MRI. It's simple, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. But
So tell me a little bit about how you came to learn about sound healing and the opportunity to work together.
Yeah, well, I've always been fascinated by quantum physics. I mean, I first learned about it. Well, I've always been fascinated by it, but the video "What the Bleep Do We Know Anyway" really took it up a notch for my interest, and that's where I learned about sound energy, how everything is just vibration. Literally everything is vibration. So sound energy makes sense to me because that's vibration, right? So I understand it from that, and it just makes complete sense. So when I was at the marketplace and I saw, well, first I just saw the cylinders they had hanging, and
The
I was
wind chime?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought they were just wind chimes, but I was like, oh, cool, because I've always like, I love wind chimes, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized that they weren't wind chimes because you told me what they were. So then I hung around and started talking, and I was like, this could, yeah, I was fascinated by it because, like I said, it's sound waves, which are quantum physics, which is the basis of everything in the universe. So it's like, yeah, I'll give this a try because it sounds cool, right?
And so I did a demo for you. I
Yeah.
had my gong that day.
Yes.
And so when you came in for the demo, you explained a little like how you're in a lot of pain, so you can't lie down on the massage table.
Yep.
You can't always sit or stand for
Right.
a lengthy period of time. Talk about like that experience and like the limitations your body has for treatment.
Yeah, I have the Chiari malformation causes muscle weakness all over the body. So I expend more energy just moving around, sitting, holding my body upright than most people because of the muscle weakness. It's not just the aborted movements with the fine muscle and gross motor combination, because that's problematic, but just holding myself upright takes a lot of so I can't stand for too long. I'll have to lean on something, or I'll have to sit down, like and then I also have, starting with menopause, I started getting plantar fasciitis, so that hurts. I started getting low level cramps on the one side of the body. Yeah, so then I've also have the huge amount of, because of the Chiari malformation, I can't lie down flat because that hurts the back of my head, so I start to get a headache, right? So I have to have it elevated a little bit, but then I can't have pressure on the back of the head, so I have to have the pillows here, but then that puts pressure on the TMJ joint, right? So I don't get a lot of rest because I'm constantly having to adjust when something gets too painful. I wake up and then have to move my head, I have to adjust my neck, so that's all night long. So I'm sleep deprived as well. So it's a whole thing that just every aspect is taken over by this. The muscular weakness,
And also speak to your neurodivergence and HSP.
Yeah, I am also neurodivergent, which I didn't come to realize till just a couple years ago, right? Just explained so much growing up, right? Because I'm the 70s child. Girls didn't get born autistic. They didn't have ADHD, right? It was only boys, because our girls' symptoms are so much different than boys, right? But now I realize I'm neurodivergent. That explains everything. But it also, because I'm neurodivergent, I'm sensitive to my environment. So sound really affects me. Colors really affect me. Tactile.
Everything,
yeah,
right?
tactile
Yeah.
really affects me. So I think that's why these natural therapies work really quickly, right? Because they do work very quickly. Even my chiropractor said he has to use just the lightest touch, because he thinks there's this instrument that he uses, and it's almost like a bolt gun where it goes up to the pressure point.
Yeah.
And he very seldom uses just a very light whisper touch, and that's enough to change my body and get it back in line. He says, 'cause my body is very, very sensitive, but I think that's neurodivergency, right? Because we are so affected by our environment, right? Hyper aware, yeah, hypersensitive, right?
Oh, so what we did is we thought to kind of have you do a demo at the market.
Yeah.
We tried to accommodate your position, and also I think that it was a short experience.
It was short because I had to rush back to work.
So we did the sound.
Yeah.
Probably the ocean drum that
We
day.
did the ocean drum. I remember that vividly. Yeah, because
So what did you like about that experience, if you can remember, because that was on July 26th?
Yeah, I remember I was able to concentrate on the sound because my mind is always going. I have trouble meditating because the inner monologue does not stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this, I was able to just concentrate on sound and not kind of ignore that inner constant nattering of things. So and that was like, it struck me right away. I was able to just focus on that and just calm, right? Which I haven't had luck on meditation with anything else.
So you overall, what did you walk away feeling about that experience?
Very hopeful, because I was like, even that short experience, just like, yeah, this could work for meditation. This could work for...
So it piqued your interest.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, and like I said, because I'm a fan of quantum physics, it made sense to me that this would be a viable thing.
So we met on a Saturday.
Yep.
On your, I guess, lunch break.
It was on my lunch break, yep.
You had to rush back to work, and then you went back, and I think you told your coworker about
I
it,
did,
because she
I
came
did.
back.
Yep.
You went back to work excited.
I did, yep. So, yeah. So she said, you got to check this out, it's awesome. So she ran over there.
And then by Tuesday, you texted me.
Yes.
Requesting a session.
Yeah.
And Tuesdays are your day off,
Yes.
right? So,
yes.
Cool. So I remember we were going to try to figure out a time for you to come.
Yes.
My recommendation was, because to accommodate that you can't lie down, you can't do the group offerings, you would need to come for a private session.
Yep.
But because we didn't know how long you could
Tolerate it.
tolerate
Yeah.
a session, we broke it up into mini sessions.
Yes.
And I recommended you come on your day off because we didn't want your body to be exhausted.
Yes, because I also do red light therapy, and the recommended dose is 20 minutes. So I did that for the first time for 20 minutes, and I literally slept for 2 days.
Wow.
I couldn't stay awake for more than an hour at a time. It's apparently my body, again, super sensitive. So then we started at 5 minutes, and over a year I've worked up to 10 minutes, but I can't get beyond that 10 minutes. But the interesting thing is, after the therapy, we did that healing, I can only tolerate up to 7 minutes before I'm like, I'm burning up, I have to get out of there. I find that really...
So now you're like sensitive again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think that day, did we meet that day you texted me? Because I had time? July 29th. Yeah.
Yeah, I
we
think
met
we did.
that day
Yeah.
in the evening.
Yes.
So the first session, so we'll just kind of like review
Recap
our
it,
last
yeah.
month of working together.
Yes.
Because we have completed, from the day we met, we have done 3 full treatments,
Yes.
healing sessions, and we are going to continue documenting this for
Yes.
science.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So let's start with, we have decided to hopefully team up with some researchers at UBC, focusing on healing in nature, the therapeutic effects of sound frequency and forest immersion. We're really going to focus on Lesley's positive results of sound frequency, vibration, which we'll talk about, and incorporating forest meditation, forest bathing, grounding exercises, forest immersion,
Yeah.
using natural elements to support her. Okay, so session 1 was Tuesday the 29th at 7:30. Why don't you show everyone the tuning fork?
Okay.
Because we kind of,
We did the
we did
Venus.
a grounding bowl.
Yeah,
we
did
stood in the grounding bowl.
And we did the Venus one on my throat, and I picked the Schumann resonance one because I had just learned about the Schumann resonance and how out of whack it is right now. And I thought that was cool because if the Schumann resonance of the Earth is out of whack, then everybody's out of whack.
Yeah.
So I found that. So I thought, to me, it makes sense to use the Schumann resonance because that's the Earth resonance, and that's, to me, is harmony, right?
Yeah.
So I chose this one.
I think the side is the only thing that...
Yep. And
So the tuning forks are from Minor Sonic Energy. They
Yeah.
are precision tuned and they are therapeutic. If you hold it up so it's in camera,
yep.
and then show the little activator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
And-
how do you use it?
I tap it like this, and then I was using it mainly for my shoulder, so I would put it right, because this is where the pain was, and I would just hold it there until it died down, and then I just do that constantly for about 15 minutes. And after doing that for that one day, my shoulder pain was 95% gone.
And you were so excited the next week when you came back, you were
Yeah.
like holding your arm out,
Right.
like, look what I can do.
Because before I did this, I could, if I stretched even a little bit, there was agonizing pain going right down, like nerve pain. And my chiropractor said it's micro tears in the shoulder, right? I'm a groomer, I use my arms. If that developed a frozen shoulder, I would not be able to work. So I wanted something. So I was so excited because that was just this, right on the ball here where it hurt. And my range of motion, as you can see,
Yeah.
there's nothing impeding it now.
And before you did this treatment, you were not able to move.
No, I could move like this if I'd stretched even a little. I can feel the pull here. I can feel the pull,
Yeah.
but it's not impeding me. And if I stretch like that, agonizing shooting pain like that.
So there's still muscle tightness,
There
but no
is.
pain.
No. And I'm still using this. But that was after one session with the Schumann.
And I don't think that we really used the tuning fork in your session.
No,
I
we
just
didn't.
said go home
Yes,
and use
this was just my homework.
and see
Yeah.
if it works. Okay.
Right?
And it did. So
It
that's
was
awesome.
amazing. I was like so happy.
And would you do it daily?
When
Or just when you intuitively felt to work
I felt to work with it, I would do it. I've had a pretty messed up couple weeks, but when I remember I was trying, and of course, as soon as I was starting to feel pain, I would
You
do
would
it.
pull it out.
Like last night, this arm, where I do have a problem with this tendon, suddenly agonizing pain going down again. So I just held it on the tendon, 15 minutes of doing this, and the pain was gone, and I haven't had any problems.
And when you activate the tuning fork, how long until you have to hit it again?
I wasn't really paying attention to that, so because it's right by my ear, so I could still hear that it's vibrating. So when
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it anymore, then I would do another one. I would just keep doing that.
So it's a slow, gentle practice.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not rushed.
Too
It's not no.
physically-
It's just sitting there while I'm doing something else, and just
Yeah.
and it took about 15 minutes, and the pain was.
And
80
how do you like working with that tool? Like, is it easy,
Yeah.
intuitive?
I like it. It's a little heavy for my arms,
Yeah.
but I love the results of it.
That is the therapy version, so
Yeah.
it's heavier.
Yeah.
So if you had your personal version,
I would find it a lot easier.
the lighter
yeah,
version,
because
yeah.
it just, like I said, it is, because to reach back here and hold it is too heavy.
And can you
right.
read the frequency on the side there? The Schumann's resonance, does it say?
It says 250.56 hertz.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So then you returned for session 2 the following Tuesday. So we kind of have a standing appointment.
Yeah.
Tuesdays at 11 o'clock to do a weekly treatment that lasts about an hour.
Yeah.
So you came and we decided to try the Solfeggio crystal singing bowls.
Yes.
Now because you can't lay down, we didn't know if you could get through the full set of 9.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience that day with your body position and what you were
Okay.
able to accomplish.
Yeah. So I positioned myself so that my head is just slightly elevated, because otherwise I would get nauseous. And again, keep the pressure off the back of my head. So I positioned my head between 2 pillows, so it was just not touching, just supported.
Cradled.
Yep. And that was fine. So we laid down and covered with blankets, and we started. And when I really started noticing, it was in the final fourth one. Before that, I could feel it, and we were positioning so that I was feeling it more on one side of the body than the other. So you were just balancing. But when we got to the fourth part and started up, when it got to my knee, which I broke during COVID, tore the ligaments, fractured the knee. It's healed, but it's always been, I could feel the instability in it. So we got up to the knee. I actually felt the knee shift. Something in the knee shifted. There was no pain, but I definitely felt it shift. It's
So
like
it realigned.
something like it was really cool. It's like, whoa, because it was noticeable. It's like, right? But no pain. And then when we got up to
Do
my
you think
throat,
it was the 4th bowl?
I can't remember. I know it was the 4th session because it's broken up into 4 parts, right?
It's 3. So
3?
there's 3 sets of 3 bowls.
Okay, so it was the 3rd session then. It was the
Okay,
last
it's the final
session.
session,
Yeah, it was
okay.
the final session, right? So then when we got up to the next big thing I noticed when we got up to the throat area, remember I'm sitting with my head slightly elevated, was I felt this, like somebody was pulling on my neck.
So like a traction.
Right? Like traction. It was pulling on my neck, and it actually stretched my neck out like this until I was lying flat. And all this crackling was going on in my ears and all the way down my neck. It was just like Rice Krispie squares, right? Rice Krispies when you put
So
the
it was
milk on
like
them.
popping?
Not the popping, but the crackling.
Crackling.
Crackling in my ears. That's where my jawbone is, right? Crackling, right all the way down my neck as my neck is being stretched out. Completely.
So like the fascia crackle or tendon crackle, joint?
It could be. It was all, because it was all like from my ears all the way down as this neck is just stretched right out until I was lying completely flat. And I was like,
How about how long?
it
like,
felt
like 5
really
seconds? 10 seconds?
No, it was quicker than that. 5 seconds at the most.
So it was just like an elongation.
Yeah, it was a complete elongation of my neck, and all, because I always have tension at the base of my head, and I always have tension there, and that was completely gone. The tension was gone.
So it's like your body kind of took over and started stretching.
It did, because it was completely involuntary. It was like somebody was pulling on me. It was like,
Was it scary?
no, it was just felt good. It's just like, whoa. It's like,
So relieving.
just completely released everything there. And like I said, I always have low grade tension, at least a 1, right? And it's gone.
So it just felt like a really good stretch.
Best stretch I've ever had in my life,
Wow.
right? It just, everything, right? And I've always have tension back there, even if
And
even
I
it's
really
level 1.
appreciated that in that moment you were telling me what was happening.
Right?
And I'm playing the bowl and I'm like, well, that I don't know what's going on.
But it's right. Like it was so cool, and I still don't have the pain back there. I mean, I wake up in the morning, and my neck might be a little stiff because I still have tried to position. But it's like a normal person wakes up and they have a little stiff neck, and it goes away. It doesn't develop into this whole a simple neuralgia event where I now have to take massive painkillers because it's going to be debilitating otherwise. It just, I get up, I stretch, pain goes away, the stiffness goes away, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was, what, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Still nothing. Still no pain.
August 5th, and
Yep.
today is the 19th. So.
I've taken one painkiller, like one pill in that whole 2 week period. And that was because I had a little tension when I woke up and I was going to be away from the house all day. And I didn't want to be somewhere where I was going to have an event and I didn't have access to painkillers. So I just popped one preemptively in the morning, and just one, not the multiples.
And another thing that I recommended that week, because we stay in contact by text
Yeah.
and check in periodically, you were having a lot of acid reflux.
Oh, yes,
And I
yes.
recommended
forgot about
it.
that, yeah.
So what do you usually do for your acid reflux?
Well, I don't want to take the medications because, like I said, medications don't work for me, and there's a lot of bad side effects with them.
Yeah.
So I've managed to stay off that, but mostly it's time management, like not eating before a certain period of time at night.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to be up all night with literally throwing up acid reflux in my mouth, like waking up, spewing it, right? Like really, this is all from started menopause.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, not much has been effective. So trying to sleep with my head a little elevated so that I'm not flatter and it pops up easier. Yeah, and it was pretty bad. The acid reflux was bad. It was nightly. Even with all of this, I was still wake up several times a night. So it was bad.
So I remember what worked for me, and I had seen something on Instagram, was to eat an apple.
Yes, right? And I went home and I thought, because my jaw is so sore all the time, I don't really eat hard food. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to eat. So I gave up on eating apples a long time ago, right? and me being stubborn, it's like, well, I'm not going to be a sissy and cut up an apple like a baby. If I can't have an apple, normally I'm not going to eat an apple, right? Because I'm a little bit petty like that, right? So I haven't eaten an apple for a long time. So I did what you suggested. I ate an apple. And wow, I had no acid reflux that night. So I did that all week. I just ate an apple.
Wow.
But I actually haven't eaten an apple for the last week, and I still have no acid reflux. Because that was from the first session,
Yeah,
the first long session that we did.
that's great.
And during that session, I had a very mild burp of acid reflux. It was,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even register it normally, but I was just trying to describe and pay attention to everything that was happening in my body.
Yeah,
Right?
you did have that when you were laying
Yeah,
down.
but it was a very mild thing. But since that whole episode, I haven't had any acid reflux.
And the other thing about that session too is we kind of went in thinking we'll do the first 3 bowls out of the 9 because you can't lay down for an hour.
Yeah.
And my recommendation was let's just see what happens.
Right.
If you're enjoying it, we'll continue, but at any time we'll stop.
Yeah. And because my body is so sensitive, like seeing how I reacted to red light therapy, which is not an invasive therapy, I was kind of worried was how my body would react.
You last for 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
now we completed that full 9 bowl solfeggio singing bowl clearing. Had amazing instant results. Like amazing results. And in one session.
And the fact that it's lasted 2 weeks so far, because it's been 2 weeks and I still don't have a reoccurrence of this. Yeah. Acid reflux is still gone. Yeah. Amazing, right?
So we completed that full session. Then you went home to continue to work with your tuning fork.
I did. The previous Sunday, I had what I now realize was an appendicitis flare-up. I never had one before, so I thought I was having severe stomach cramps.
Yeah, because during the week you were texting that you were having hot flashes.
Right. So when I went home after that first clearing, later in the afternoon, I had a very bad appendicitis attack. And I was having one every other day, along with hot flashes, which I now realize was fever, right? So then, when I came back to you the next Tuesday, I requested that I thought we should focus on my gut, right? Yeah. Because it was giving me so much trouble. Didn't realize it was appendicitis at that until I talked to a coworker who has had appendicitis and said, "Look, you're having an appendicitis flare-up." And I said, "Great."
Because you felt a heaviness, right?
Right starting in my belly button. And I thought that appendicitis was just your side. But then I looked at the symptoms and it is exactly what I was having. It was starting at the belly button and then progressing down towards the right hip. But it was very, very tight, painful, nausea, vomiting, the whole 9 yards with that. So I now realize it was appendicitis. So very bad week. So then I come Tuesday, I requested we need to focus on this area, right? Because everything else is great.
Yeah. And we focused on vagus nerve, vocal toning.
Yes.
Gut-throat connection. And also, that was after I came back from the UBC research, or the Forest Therapy Conference at UBC.
Yes.
So I also proposed as soon as you came, like, Lesley, we're having amazing results. Let's document this for science. Let's do a little research project.
Right.
So that's where we came up with the idea to fully document this.
Yes, because it's just
you're having
amazing
really
results, right? Yeah. Like better than anything I've ever had.
That's awesome.
Right?
Okay, so we decided to continue with the Solfeggio treatment with the 9 crystal bowls, focusing on continuing with this clearing, working with the bowls, and focusing on introducing some vocal toning.
Yes.
So how was that experience for you?
That was also amazing. So when we got up to the gut area, again, this was on the 3rd part, I felt a pain on this side, right between my hip and my rib. And so used just to put my hand on my heart and that over there and focus on that. And the pain subsided, but this whole part of the gut, which has been tense for a whole week, just completely relaxed. It just, a whole relaxation.
What did it feel like?
Just
like a wave, just
muscles just relaxing.
Okay.
Right? Like if you hold your tent and they just, that's what it felt like. This whole area just completely relaxed, right? And then as we're doing this, I was getting a lot of phlegm.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I was constantly having to stop and, empty this phlegm, because then it started coming out my nose, and right.
So you're blowing your nose so much, you were spitting out
phlegm. Yep.
You were kind of coughing, like you kept sitting up.
Yeah, because I had to cough up the phlegm because it was coming up my throat from deep inside, right?
Yeah.
So that was a lot of that was coming up, which like great clearing, right? So that was as we progressed upwards.
Yeah. And
then we got to the throat, and I was getting a lot of tightness right here. A lot of tightness. So we were doing the throat vibrations, and I could really feel that helping with this part, and it relaxed it. I don't remember much after that.
I think that was the biggest thing.
I think that was the biggest thing, was
because
this
I was
and the
asking,
phlegm
like,
clearing.
do you usually have a lot of phlegm? Do you have is this like an allergic reaction?
Yeah, I do get phlegm with an allergic reaction, but usually to like milk or vinegar. It's not just spontaneous like that.
Yeah.
I usually have to eat something that causes that. So this was...
And was there any other sensations in your body, like heat or
I don't remember heat
cold?
or cold. I just remember pressure, like pressure here, pressure there, the phlegm coming up. So it's mainly pressure.
And how did it feel at the end of the session? Was like there's some sort of resolution?
Yeah, because like I said, this felt really relaxed. This all felt really relaxed. I felt like I cleared a lot of stuff out. Toxins out is what it felt like. I just felt...
Oh, and then you were really tired. At the end, you were like really tired. So, and I had the time, so I said, "Okay, I'm just going to leave the room. Just relax." And you kind of had a rest.
Yeah, I did. It was... Yeah, I was really drained. Really drained.
And then we talked about
Yeah.
it.
But this was gone. And I haven't actually had any appendicitis for that. I had last night, I had a very mild flare-up. And that's when my coworker said, "You have appendicitis," right?
Yeah.
But it was very mild. It was maybe a 2. It's just enough to be aware that this never developed any further than that at all. So, yeah, like really impressed.
Wow.
Yeah, because I don't want to have surgery.
No.
Right? They found out you need your appendix. It's vital to your body. It's not useless like they've always maintained. It has as many neurons as your spine. It's directly connected to your brain. It communicates between your gut and the brain, and it holds all of the bacteria that you need, so that if something happens and your gut is depleted, it repopulates the gut with your good bacteria. So it's vital to your body.
Wow.
So I don't want to have surgery,
Yeah.
right? And if I go to the doctor, they're going to put me on antibiotics, because that's how they're going to treat the inflammation, which antibiotics have their own side effects, right? So
now that we're moving forward, we're going to be doing our weekly sessions.
Yeah.
And we're going to start incorporating more. We just did an aura reading today.
Yeah, and that was accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we saw that the lowest energy point is the root chakra. So we want to focus on grounding.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for our plan to transition, doing more work in the forest.
Exactly.
And with the nature and forest therapy, focusing on incorporating first some forest bathing, just using nature.
Yep.
And then also incorporating the sound frequencies and different therapeutic practices.
Yes.
I have given you a protocol to work with doing more mineralized salts for the pain.
Yep.
It's a pain relief. And you're good with your water.
Yes. Yeah. I make it a point to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to explore microdosing.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about that.
Forest medicine, so mushrooms, to help calm the mind.
Yeah.
Do a microdosing protocol as well.
Yeah.
And that will connect us to the...
Yeah, I'm really excited about that, because there's a disconnect between my mind is like a computer that's constantly analyzing everything. There's no off button.
Yeah.
Whereas my body is completely disconnected from that head. So
Yeah. So what are you most excited about, like when you think of just the last few weeks of working together?
I'm just excited at the rapid progress, because that was insane. It was just, I've lived with this pain in my head since I was 11, and it's always been, I've always had at least one episode a week. I liken it to being at war with my body since I was 11. Mm-hmm. So to have the pain just gone, I've never had a 2-week period where the pain's just gone. I mean, not at a level 1, not at a level 2, but just gone, right? I've never had that. So to have that in one session is just amazing.
Okay, and then share the other little parts, because I love all of the pieces to this amazing puzzle. How we randomly met at the market.
Yes.
But how before that, you had, and now some people don't believe in this, but I think it's just interesting.
The synchronicity is very interesting. So about 2 months before I met you in the market, I, on a whim, because usually by the time I'm off work, there's a little psychic down the street, tarot reading, and they're usually closed by the time off. But I had time off during the day, dogs hadn't shown up.
Is that
so,
Gypsy Moon?
Yes.
Okay.
So I went to the Gypsy Moon, and I said, oh, I want a tarot reading, because I haven't had somebody, I do tarot cards, but it's useful to have somebody else do them, right? Because they can interpret sometimes better for yourself.
And you're really big into astrology too.
I'm, because everything's connected. It's all energy, right? It's just all energy. So this psychic told me that by September, I would have a big resolution with my health problems. By September.
That's a big promise.
A very big promise. So I'm like, I cannot possibly see how this is going to happen, but we will see, right? Because my mind is like, what's that going to look like? No idea. So it's like, I'll just continue on my merry way, but I'm keeping an eye out for September, see what's going to happen. And then it was August. Was it?
We met at the end of July.
End of July. Okay, yes, end of July.
It was July 29th.
Yeah, end of July.
Was our first
yeah,
session.
so
we met July 26th.
Yes, so July 26th, the market was right outside my work, so at my lunch hour, I was just trying to speed walk through the market so I could get, and I was attracted by the sounds coming from your, because I really do like sounds.
Yeah.
And then that's how we met. But also, another bit of synchronicity, I've been seeing a lot of ads for vagus nerve therapy popping up on my Facebook feed, Facebook.
Yeah.
And this was, in the last month, I've seen a lot of vagus nerve ads coming up. So I found that very synchronistic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, I am super excited to work with you, Lesley, and I think that your ability to really tune into what's going on in your body, your awareness, and even though it's like this hyper awareness, and maybe other people may not experience the speed of healing that you do, we can still like use this information,
yes,
and track it and understand that with your neurodivergence and your situation.
Yes, it'd be very interesting to see how, if other neurodivergent people have the same speedy healing, right?
Yeah.
That I would find interesting to see if that happens. Now you just got to go find some more neurodivergent people and hook them in, right?
Or even if you're not neurodivergent, like maybe it takes 4 sessions, but still like they'll come along like eventually, right? Like the speed is just different. But
yeah, I think the more tuned into you are to.
Well, I just want to say I've really enjoyed working with you.
No, it's been, I'm really excited. I've been this excited about something for a very long time. So I go and I'm telling everybody that I know who has problems, well, if this isn't working, like your stuff isn't working for you, go try this, right? Because, wow, I've had amazing results, right? Oh, and no more nausea. That's what I wanted to say.
Wow.
Lying, because going from a prone position to an upright position causes extreme nausea. Like I can't, when I'm doing the red light therapy, I'm always on my stomach. I don't get to roll over to my back because rolling over causes nausea. And then, so rolling over from being on my back and then getting up, nausea. But that's gone as well. So I think that was an inner ear thing. And when all that crackling was happening, I think it.
Things are moving.
Right? Things are aligning and harmonizing the way they should be, which is.
Yeah, and bringing back to balance.
Yes.
Getting the tune up, right?
Yeah, right.
Like resetting the resonance in our body and playing these sounds and the vibrations. It's just like reminding our body how we should be vibrating.
Right.
Like
well, and again, the Schumann resonance for me, because that affects everybody. It affects the animals. It affects us. It affects the trees. And if that's out of whack, everybody's out of whack. Everybody's irritable, everybody's right.
Speaking of animals, have you used the tuning fork on your pet?
Just once briefly. I had to wait till he was asleep because he was like, oh my God, what's that? Right? Because, well, they're more sensitive than we are, right?
Yeah.
But I actually wanted to explore that more because they do have vaccine-created allergies. So I would like to actually explore that with them, which I will be doing more of.
And for the forest and nature therapy, what are you most kind of intuitively feeling called to explore? Like, how do you like to work with nature?
I like to, well, what I have done, because as I go for a walk with my dogs, So I'm in tune with the trees, because I feel the energy from the trees. I'm in tune with the energy of the dogs as they are in tune with nature. So it's like a big feedback loop for me. So it's extremely calming, grounding for me and the animals, because we're all doing this big feedback loop as we're going through because my dogs are a big part of it for me, because I do energetically feel them. So when they're in the woods, they're in their happy place too, because they're using their nose, they're sniffing, and I'm tuning into that. I'm tuning into the trees, the energy from the trees. So it's just a very positive, calming feedback loop that we're all doing.
And do you have a forest where you live that you want to work in, or would you like to explore working in?
Oh, it's any forest will do, because I have to drive quite a ways, because there's one which is about 20 minutes from me this way, and there's one which is about 20 minutes from me that way.
What are the forests that you like to walk in?
Pitts,
Is it in Maple Ridge?
no, it's in, it's near 16th Avenue, Spokes Pit.
I haven't been there.
It was a big gravel pit. Now, unfortunately, they're developing, but they still left the perimeter. It takes about,
Does it have a lake?
yes,
I think I've been there. In
Yeah.
Langley?
yeah, just near 16th Avenue going up 96.
Huh.
It's been there a while. It's called Latimer Lake.
Okay.
It's colloquially known as Spokes Pit, because that's where all the teenagers went to hang out and smoke and party at night without, which you can't quite do now. But
Yeah.
that one, you can go from anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to do all the loops and all the little trails. So,
Oh, wow.
and it's very calming. I like that
And
one.
do you find that your pain, that you can tolerate being outside, like you're more energized? Because,
I'm not so much more energized as more calm.
yeah.
Again, this
So how
has,
long can you go walking?
well, it was limited because this here, just the weight of my arm walking would put this out of whack. And so then I would have this spiking pain here. So that would limit me to like an hour. Because now this is like, I'm walking like Quasimodo through the park because this is spasming, and it's like really so.
Well, the nice thing about nature and forest therapy is you're not actually walking.
Yeah,
It's more about just kind of settling and being.
Settling
so
and being,
we'll have a sit spot mat that you can use, or
Yeah.
a little chair, and it's more about grounding and
Yes.
like being
yeah,
kind of aware of the energies in the forest. So
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Well,
I'm
I
looking
look
forward to that,
to
actually.
coming up with a plan,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we'll be focusing more on the forest therapies this next month,
That'll be great. I love the forest.
and
Yeah.
it'll be September.
Yes. Right?
So our next recap will be when everything's supposed to be great for you. So
Yeah, so,
we'll be
yeah,
celebrating.
that'll be, yeah, that's really,
Well, thanks
yeah.
for your commitment, and
Yeah, no.
it's been great working with
Oh,
you.
it has been great. I'm like, wow, I'm stoked.
Thank you.
Oh. So I think that covered everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.